The Apollo City Pro has been a favorite of ours here at Rider Guide for a long time and has become the benchmark mid-price dual motor electric scooter. Whenever a new scooter is released around $1,500, this is the scooter we inevitably end up comparing it to. There may be scooters that are faster for the price, but the City Pro delivers value in its quality and design while still packing plenty of punch on the performance side. The City Pro is designed in Canada, and every year Apollo continues to fine-tune it, adding new innovations and features, and not just limiting the latest and greatest tech to their top-of-the-line scooters. This latest iteration introduces features and design elements we love from the Apollo Pro, the scooter that won Best Overall Design in this year's Scooter Awards. In this review, I'll break down the City Pro in detail, telling you what I love about it, what I wish was better, and tell you if this scooter's for you. Even if you have never seen another electric scooter in your life, it's obvious that this scooter is particularly good looking and well designed. For years now, Apollo has been ahead of the curve on design, and this scooter just has a sleekness to it that I find extremely appealing. But no matter how good it looks, a scooter is nothing if it isn't built well. The City Pro's aluminum frame offers enough strength to handle up to a 265-pound rider while keeping the weight of the scooter down. Apollo is so confident in the quality of the frame that they include a 10,000-kilometer warranty on it. When it comes to ride stability, the star of the show is the new locking mechanism. This is the first element borrowed from the Apollo Pro, and it's a welcome one because it's one of the best locking mechs on the market. What you end up with is an extremely solid scooter that doesn't flex or bend. You don't sacrifice convenience either because it still remains easy to fold and unfold quickly. And speaking of folding, a smaller but significant change made on this year's model is that the deck latch now includes a spring clip to prevent the stem from coming unlatched when folded down. The previous model could come unlatched more easily, which could be rough if it happened at the wrong time. The deck latch is also magnetic and stays secured against the stem when not in use. At 68.8 pounds, the City Pro is a pretty standard weight for its class and is manageable enough to carry up and down a flight or two of stairs daily if you needed to. The deck latch is solid enough that you can carry it by the stem if you so choose. Riding comfort is clearly a priority for this scooter, with plenty of foot space on the riding platform and my favorite style of rear tail with a smooth gradual slope. There is space to ride with both feet flat if you prefer, but the tail adds a ton of versatility to the way your rear foot can rest. The 10-inch tubeless tires make for a cushy, stress-free ride. They have a self-sealing layer inside that can automatically plug up punctures. The suspension is also comfort-focused, plenty plush, and with decent travel. The compression is well balanced with a single spring in front to handle the main impact of bumps, and it has doubled up springs in the back to keep the rear wheel planted on the ground. You get a bit of stem rake angle to help with stability, but the cockpit doesn't encroach into the riding space. The cockpit is well executed in terms of both comfort and aesthetics and is the most noticeable change from the 2022 model to this year. The handlebars are wide with new comfort grips. I'm picky with my grips, and I typically change out the stock grips on scooters I regularly use, but these are well done and feel good even on longer rides. The ends of the grips are now fitted with turn signals in the same style as the Apollo Pro. I like to see turn signals mounted high on scooters because otherwise they're basically impossible to see during the day. The buttons to activate the signals themselves are easy to reach, with one on each corresponding side. The display is simple and clear with all the core info you would want at a glance. Apollo keeps things simple with 2 riding modes, Sport and Eco. It does also include a walking mode if you're pushing your scooter around at slower speeds. This throttle is another new addition identical to the Apollo Pro. This is by far my favorite variation of the vertical style thumb throttle. It's nice and large and flat and doesn't dig into my thumb at all. It's easy to use for long periods of time without fatigue. Apollo says that they have tested their throttles for 300,000 cycles to make sure that they last the whole life of the scooter without issues. This is 3 times more cycles than the industry standard of 100,000 cycles. You'll also notice that there's a second throttle on the left side of the handlebars, except it's not a throttle, it's a dedicated regen brake. This is a unique feature for scooters at this price, and Apollo offers some of the best regen braking on the market. Paul's description of it feeling like a rubber band pulling you back is the most accurate description of it. Regen braking helps reduce brake pad wear and can restore up to 10% of the battery charge over the course of a full ride. You also get a pair of drum brakes with the ability to mix in that great regen feel using the app. I would normally say something here about wishing it had hydraulic disc brakes rather than drum brakes, but Apollo has done a great job with the regen. They have also made a pretty clear decision to stick with drum brakes across most of their models. Drum brakes are low maintenance and have a cleaner look which fits Apollo's designs. Braking distance is pretty good, stopping from 15 miles an hour in 13.4 feet for me. Paul, who is lighter than me, stopped about a foot quicker. Now let's stay on performance and talk speed, acceleration, hill climb, and range. The 2023 model stays with the dual 500-watt motor configuration, but gets a small speed upgrade, clocking a max speed of 31.2 miles an hour, about half a mile an hour faster than the previous year model. Like I mentioned in the intro, you can get scooters that have a max speed in the mid to high 30s at the same price, but Apollo has never been about the raw performance numbers. But that's not to say the scooter isn't fun. 30 plus miles an hour is plenty fast for commutes and recreational riding for the vast majority of people. It gets up to those higher speeds quickly as well, clocking a 0 to 15 time of 3 seconds. It's the perfect blend of feeling like you're riding a higher end quick scooter without having to aggressively change the way you ride. If this is your first scooter, then I think you'll be taken aback by how fast this scooter really is. The acceleration power can be adjusted in the app, and for all these tests and my general riding, I had it turned all the way up. The City Pro had no issues with our hill climb test, making it to the top of the 200-foot 10% incline in 11 seconds, accelerating the entire time. This shouldn't have any issues with the hills in an average city, making it great for hilly commutes and things like that. The 2023 model gets an upgraded battery, staying 48 volt but going from 18 amp hours to 20 amp hours. For the range test, I tested it in sports mode, riding aggressively to get an idea of the minimum range. Apollo's website claims that sports mode will give you 23 miles of range, and I got 21.9, almost 22, so as far as manufacturer claims go, Apollo has done pretty well. A lighter rider like Paul should be able to get closer to 25 miles of range in sports mode based on our data. Over 20 miles of range in the highest riding mode is great for this class of scooter. However, it gets over the 20-mile mark by cutting back on the acceleration and a few miles an hour of top speed for the second half of the battery. Whether this is by design to extend the range or occurs naturally, I don't know. Just keep in mind that the last 10 miles of range will offer less than the maximum performance. The other two upgrades that this model has gotten from last year's model are the headlight and the kickstand. The new headlight is 2 times brighter than the previous version, and it's adjustable. The kickstand is also now reinforced with aluminum, so it's less likely to have issues in the long term. The City Pro is IP66 dust and water resistant, which is one of the highest ratings I've ever seen for a scooter, so all-weather riding is no issue at all. You can also clean off your scooter by squirting it down with the hose if it gets dirty. As I've mentioned a couple of times already, the Apollo app allows you to customize the settings of your City Pro, as well as track your rides, which includes estimated remaining range based on the mode you're riding in. You can also check on the health of your battery and ensure your scooter is functioning without issues. Luckily, I haven't had any issues with the app so far, which is rare as far as scooter apps go, so it gets a thumbs up from me. The City Pro also ships with a full toolkit and phone holder, adding a bit of extra value that you normally don't see from other scooters and companies. So who is this scooter for? Well, first, this is a perfect scooter for those who regularly commute but need dual motor power to deal with hills, or just want better acceleration than single motor scooters. Those who value quality and design over raw performance numbers and are shopping in this price range will quickly realize that there isn't anything on the market with the integration and finish of the City Pro. There's also the option of the single motor City for those who don't need the hill climbing power of the City Pro, but want the quality and finish that the City Pro offers. Let's look at a few of the competitors at this price real quick. The Kaabo Mantis V2 would be the option the most opposite of the City Pro, with the best performance numbers in class, but using a design and components that haven't changed or been updated in years. The Solar EQ is a newer model with a bit of an older feel. It's the cheapest scooter in this class that can reach 40 miles an hour, but you sacrifice the design and excellent suspension of the City Pro. And the third option of the alternatives is the Emove Roadrunner V2, a seated electric scooter which offers impressive range and fun low to the ground riding experience in a unique form factor. The City Pro has a bit of a more polished feel to it, and you might just straight up not be interested in seated scooters. So, it should be obvious by now why the Apollo City Pro is the benchmark or the gold standard of the middleweight dual motor scooters. No scooter at this price is as well-rounded in all categories, with beautiful design, the latest features and components, and balanced performance that make it great for both commuting and recreational riding. Check it out down below in the description and hit the like and subscribe button on your way down there. I'm Mitchell with Rider Guide. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.